podcasting isn't just about creating content. Podcasting, in fact, Forbes put it this way: content marketing solves problems, thought leadership sparks conversations, right? We want to have the right conversations with the right high value targets, right? That's ABM sales. So our belief collectively here that we're talking about is that podcasting, if you bring on guests that are targeted within the ABM model to begin with, in other words, it's your ICP that we bring on. And within that world of ICP, we bring on prospects that are in pipeline right now that we're trying to close. We bring on customers that represent our largest customer expansion opportunities. And every company that's revenue focused, which we all are, right? 30, 40% of new revenue growth should be coming from existing clients. So a focus on customer expansion. So now all of a sudden podcasting, ABM podcasting is a sales activity. It's a customer expansion activity. And at the same time, for those when sales comes to you, and you've had this happen, right? We're having a hard time getting to XYZ. Like you were mentioning, we want to get to their boss. You can put together your profile of the top 100, 200 different prospects that you haven't had a conversation with yet. The door hasn't opened. And we invite those onto the podcast. So now it's a sales activity, a customer expansion activity, and a prospecting activity into of itself that's separate from the marketing campaigns that we're doing on LinkedIn and everything else. If you could tell us a little bit about, with the Teradata podcast, we've had some of those high profile prospects that are in pipeline right now. Tell us a little bit about what happened in that relationship, and maybe even through the eyes of your chief sales officer, the sales organization, what happened there?
A couple of angles I wanted to touch on here. So we have brought in some customers and some prospects. Everybody thinks we should be calling higher, right? That's not a new thing in sales and marketing circles. We got to call higher. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you call higher and the higher person goes, I got people for that. Down you go. This changes that dynamic entirely because we're not selling higher. We're having a conversation higher. So we're elevating the experience with us as a brand. We're giving that decision maker a platform to convey their thought leadership to the market. We're giving our sales team insight as to how they think, what are their priorities, so we know how to position with them going forward in a consultative selling approach. So when the customers or prospects are on the line, it's not about us as the software vendor. It's not about the things we can do for them. It's about the things that are on their mind, the top of mind subjects. It's giving them an opportunity to communicate to the market, to converse with their peers, essentially. Hey, I'm a leader in this area. I want to share my thoughts with the world. For us, it's been everything from the enrollment cliff to the benefits of international education and internationalization on campus, things they care about deeply. Yes, we can help, but that's not the point of the podcast. So it gives them that opportunity to put a thought leadership topic out there to the masses on our behalf, essentially.
What you said is so important there, right? The reason why they're coming onto the podcast is because your company has put together a podcast so that the industry leaders, the peer community, can share their insights with the rest of their peers in the industry. And they feel very honored to be on that podcast. You're actually doing something for them in the relationship that they can't do for themselves, right? And so after they come on and you go through a prep call, what do we want to talk about? And then you go through the actual recording, and it's kind of like being with somebody, at a cocktail party where they talk all night. You don't say anything and they have the best time, right? So you get to the end of that and you have absolutely gotten their point of view, because as trusted advisors, as expert in your industry, as an organization, you have to be seen as somebody that's helping them solve their challenges, even beyond your own products, your own technology.